Tonight on Podcast 'em Down, are you so literal that you can only think of one thing to put on your flag? We'll talk about it right now.
Cast them down! Hail Metal Nation, it is we, Podcast them Down, Tim, Matt, and Doug, and we are continuing our metal rating of all the United States flags, state flags. And we're picking up where we left off. Last episode, we ended with Virginia. And so next is Washington. Does anyone actually, I've heard people joke about putting R in the word Washington, but does anyone actually do that?
I've
it's
heard
a Mid-Atlantic thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they do it out there.
I bet it used to be a Mid-Atlantic thing. But
hey, you know who, Doug, definitely said Washington is mayor for life and governor for life, William Donald Schaefer.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee he did.
The only mayor for life I know is Marion Barry, mayor for life.
Well, he's another mayor for life.
Oh, to be clear, though, they are different mayors of different places. All right.
Wait, which Washington are we talking about, Tim? I'm confused.
Well, now we're talking about Washington State. Oh,
okay.
It's been days, so I've forgotten the methodology here. All right. The Washington State flag is a 5x8 flag adopted March 5th, 1923, standardized in 1967. The design is a state seal sized at 1/3 the length of the flag, centered on a field of dark green. The state seal, pull out a $1 bill. It's that portrait of George Washington in a circle, and it says, "The Seal of the State of Washington, 1889. That's it.
It's like a quarter that you throw down on your pool table.
You didn't mention the awkward flat skin coloring where it's just like a blob of apricot, like a thumbprint on his face. Like, here's his skin tone, here's his hair, he's standing in a sky blue void for some reason.
Well, this is a vast improvement over the pre-standardization version, which is...
I beg to differ.
I disagree too. I think that's a much better... At least that's not just ripping off a $1 bill. And this pre-standardization one, I guess both of them look like they're about to talk in a Monty Python animated short.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just
where'd you go?
I'm fixing something. God damn it!
It's like Doug. It's like President Washington is talking to us. Say, I cannot. Whoa, fuck! Oh my god!
I'm back.
You look like you're the dictator of Washington State.
We will march upon
the beaches.
I'm trying to think. I assume they'd take over Idaho. A bunch of sitting ducks.
So this is a very literal flag.
Look at the sickly, syphilitic version of Washington pre-standardization. I
mean, he looks very clearly like he's a man uncomfortable with wooden teeth, as we all of us Dollop fans know.
Yep. There's a element of reality in that image that doesn't exist in this, which looks like an Andy Warhol.
Yeah, exactly. Doug, on the non-standardized flag, I saw a man. On this, I see an image.
Yeah, well, it's for a state he never went to.
Or even knew existed.
Right. So,
we hadn't invented it yet.
That's right. America.
Wait, I'm pretty sure, did Lewis and Clark even make it? All right, let's see. George Washington died what year? He died in 1799.
I didn't know we were doing bar trivia. Wasn't Lewis and Clark 1804 or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, I'm going for quality 1 and metalness 1. This is just stupid. Lazy. Boring.
It's stupid and lazy for sure. It's a quality 1. I'm actually going to give this a metalness of 5, just because I would like to imagine that they just gave such little of a shit that they just like sent the joke answer.
I was right on the money when I graded Missouri, and this is the same. This is 1 higher in both.
One higher than Missouri?
Yes.
So you're going with a 4 and a 5?
Uh-huh.
Quality and metalness, respectively. Okay. I mean,
it would also be, I wish that there was some other Washington that this was named for. That would be delicious.
That would increase both quality and metalness for me.
Like if it was named for like famed British surveyor William Henry Washington.
Yeah.
Wait, was Washington City? That was still when Washington was alive, right?
It wasn't built yet, but I think it was named after his death. L'Enfant Plan.
Well, I'm sure that plan wasn't around, but the original Georgetown, Arlington, Washington City, and then none of that really built.
Okay, so it was called. I'm looking at L'Enfant's plans here. So he was the president, 1792. So they did decide to name it after him while Washington, the president, was still alive.
All right. Well, in that case, the quality score drops to 0.
Oh no!
Wow.
This is the same reason why many of us feel strongly about National Airport being National Airport.
I see.
You get 1 federal property named after you.
Okay, now here's the problem, Doug. Do you know what the original name of the Washington Territory was?
Was it Shasta?
Nope.
What is it? That's one of those like
Jefferson.
It's Columbia.
Oh, well. He gets a lot. I mean, that's different.
All right. I already tried moving on. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
All right. State of West Virginia. Proportion of this flag is 10/19. So not quite 2-1.
It's West Virginia, though. I'll give them a pass.
Well, they always say measure twice and cut twice. This was adopted March 7th, 1929. The design is a pure white field bordered on 4 sides by a stripe of blue with the coat of arms of West Virginia in the center, wreathed by rhododendron maximum and topped by an unfurled red ribbon reading State of West Virginia. All right, what's going on in this seal? So it looks like
what's going on is everybody needs to get back to work.
Yeah, really. So looks like they put their guns down, someone threw their hat on top of it, but the 2 guys in this picture are still wearing hats, so not sure where that hat came from. There's one guy who's apparently a blacksmith / miner / rum. Maybe he's a rum miner.
No, you see,
the other guy's a farmer with a plow that he is hiding behind him, and but he's got his axe. So they put their guns down, but they still definitely are holding weapons.
See, I think that there is a third man in this seal, perhaps hiding behind the rock. So he dropped his hat. He's the blacksmith who then perfectly balanced his hammer on his anvil in a physics-defying display.
Oh, also,
I think some people tried to mug him, and they dispatched him, and this is the end result.
By the way, these two guys are leaning casually on the rock, and on the rock it says June 20th, 1863. And there's lichen on the rock.
All right, the rock is acceptable as long as it exists in real life.
If any rock in any of these fields, these coats of arms exist, Doug, I'm sure that rock exists.
It ain't changing. Oh, I do like their pledge.
Oh, we should also mention that their motto, Montani,
yeah.
Semper Liberi.
That was on there.
Could be translated as mountain folk are forever free.
I like it. The whole state's not mountains, though. Just most of it.
Yep. Let's hear this pledge.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of West Virginia, which serves as a constant reminder that mountaineers are always free, which stands as a symbol of her majestic mountains, fertile forests, rich veins of coal, and the pride of her people.
I don't think there's a mountain on this flag at all.
There's
That's
a
a good
boulder,
point.
or maybe it fell off the mountain.
It's just or maybe they're like giant men.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. A giant miner and a giant farmer.
Yeah.
I like it.
The one guy looks like Sherlock Holmes if he was holding an axe.
It does kind of look like Sherlock Holmes.
He does. Okay. This is less bad than the other state seal ones. But it's still a state seal one, so I can't go very high. I will give this a 3 for quality, and there's a few metal elements to this to the seal itself, but it's not that metal, so I'll go with a 3 as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a great flag. It did briefly have a bunch of flowers on the back. It was like a double-sided flag, but not anymore. It's I was expecting much worse from West Virginia, frankly. Perhaps that's my own prejudices showing through. I was expecting a blue flag with just the words West Virginia in yellow, and that it. So
how about a
again,
blue flag? I was kind of picturing a blue flag with West Virginia in white.
Or even better, like the flag of Virginia and just like the word West, like sewn into it, but otherwise exactly the same.
The Confederate battle flag can be flying in the Virginia flag.
Yeah. And they can cut it out or something. Yeah, I'll give this. It's a 3 quality. It's a 2 metal. No. There's lots of weapons. 3 quality, 4 metal.
Yeah, the flag itself is pretty metal, including how comically sad it is.
Oh.
And I love West Virginia, and this seems fitting, and not in a negative way, but you have 2 cartoon characters and some weapons and a rock and a hammer and anvil and assertions of freedom. All that's really metal. Honestly, it's an 8 metal, 3 quality.
All right. Next up is try to figure out what this one is. Oh.
Yeah, what flag is that?
Oh my God, is it missing?
Oh no.
Wisconsin is missing. All right. Close your eyes, if you will.
Okay.
Picture a blue flag.
All right.
It says Wisconsin on it. That's pretty much it. There's a nice little state seal on it. There's a ribbon above it that says forward. It's over a beaver or perhaps a badger. There is a shield with 4
It's a Wolverine.
quadrants. Oh, it's a Wolverine. Shield with 4 quadrants. There is a plow, a shovel and pickaxe, an anchor, and Rosie the Riveter's arm. Holding the hammer. It's not Rosie the Riveter, but that's the arm. Oh, maybe it's the arm and hammer arm.
It is a badger. Whoops.
Told you.
That's Michigan.
All right, below it is a cornucopia, and I don't know what that is. A bunch of triangles. And then there's a miner and a sailor flanking the flag, and then below the seal, and then below it says 1848. All right, and this was adopted May 1st, 1981. Proportion is 2-3, and that's all you got.
I like this flag. It looks like the image looks like something you'd see hanging over one of those bars that George
Yes.
Washington allegedly visited.
Oh no, I was thinking this is like behind the bar at like a VFW.
Yeah,
And it has like the dinginess. None of the glasses are clean. What's remember when Homer is thrown out of Moe's and he goes to Spittle County and he asks if he can get a clean glass and the bartender's like, "Here you are, your majesty." Like that bar has like this behind it. There's still a bubble TV. Yeah. Oh, I can feel it and smell it.
They made the flag to fly in war, so that's pretty metal. And before most of these other states made a flag,
we should call out the flaming hat the miner is wearing, which is pretty.
Oh
metal.
yeah, he's got a candle on his hat. How about that? All right. Well, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Quality is probably. See, the problem is that it has all the things I don't like: state seal, name of state on it, but it's like the least poorly done. So I will tie this with West Virginia. I'll give it a 3. Metalness. West Virginia had more weapons, but I'll still give it a 3.
I will actually follow your lead. I will give it the exact same score I gave West Virginia, which I believe is 3 and 4.
Yep.
And I do appreciate. I think something that is helping them out is having the Arm and Hammer arm, because I really like that extra disembodied arm, and of course the cornucopia. There's lots of corporate logos in this Wisconsin flag.
Yeah, that's fruit of the loom, isn't it?
Of all the shitty flags like this is maybe the best.
I'm gonna go 4. Oh, I'll stick with that. And then it's a 5.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Now we're back on track. Next is Wyoming.
Oh,
All right.
you were so close.
Let's figure out what's going on with Wyoming here. All right. Proportion is 7-10. Adopted January 31st, 1917. The design is a dark blue field bordered by white and red. In the center is the white silhouette of a bison bearing the state seal. All right. And let's see what's going on in the state seal. It's hard to see because it
is really hard to see.
It's off center because it's centered on the buffalo's shoulder. So the buffalo is centered, but the seal is, like I said, centered on his shoulder. It says equal rights, livestock, mines, and I thought it said brain, but it says grain.
If it said brain, that would be a perfect 10.
And then there's a statue of justice, I believe. There's 2 columns with candles or oil lamps, and it looks like a prospector and a miner.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's a miner and a cattleman or something.
Yeah, something.
The seal itself looks like the thing on the dollar bill that like tells you where it was printed.
It does. This was designed by Verna Kays. Verna Kays. So this is the only flag designed by a woman.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, not only that, Tim, but it was redesigned by Grace Raymond Hebbard.
Oh.
So it's also the only flag designed by a woman that was then redesigned by a woman.
That one might actually be true. All right. The buffalo, I think it would have been good enough to just leave the seal off.
Well, I do like how the flag's kind of fucking with you.
In what way?
Well, you want to see that seal centered, and it's like inviting you to see it centered. Then it's like something's wrong with my eyes.
That's pretty metal. It's like a prank.
Mm-hmm. And it draws you in with the red and then the white, then you're in the blue, then you're looking at the seal and you're like, oh, wait, I'm not looking at the center of the picture.
It's also the same dimensions as Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the proportion is exactly right.
I think it's a perfect representation of Wyoming, which is a plus. Apparently, the bison used to look the other way. But one of the things that Grace did was turn it around because it looked like the bison was running away.
Like running out of Wyoming?
Yeah. Like,
did you
they
know
intended it to symbolize like Wyoming's freedom, but then she said, it's not working, guys.
Here's a well-known fact about Wyoming. When Amerigo Vespucci was designing America, there was a big space in the middle, and so he named it Wyoming, which is Italian for no state here.
And that's why you've never met anyone from Wyoming.
That's right. Go ahead, think about it. It's not there.
Not there.
There are actually an awful lot of states that have an off-centered seal for no good reason.
Yeah, we're just... okay. If this didn't have the seal, this would be a solid contender for a good state flag.
Totally agree.
But it does have the seal. So quality, it's perplexing. It's I'll give it a 4 just because you avoided a lot of. Well, you didn't, but you almost avoided a lot of state flag tropes. There's a non-eagle animal on here, which I'll give you a point. I wish the jaunty gentleman and lady on the seal were more
he is quite
visible.
jaunty.
I mean, they're kind of jauntily talking. I like to think that they're telling each other.
They're both thrusting their hips out.
I want these ribbons to be a fight. Like he says livestock, and the other guy says mines, and then he says grain, and the other guy says and then like Liberty is like equal rights. Like I wish it was a conversation. That's what's going on up here. But I can't say that that's in the mind of the Grace and what's her name, Verna. So metal wise, you have to have some cojones, or I guess some ovaries, to walk into a flag fight with this. So it's a 7. It's a 7 metal.
I'm going to go the complete opposite. I think it was a good design that they ruined with the seal, so that would take it from a 7 down to a 5. Okay. I don't think it's buffaloes are metal. And
yeah.
I don't know. It's too like old-timey political cartoony for me, the seal.
Hold on. Breaking news.
The bison. Yeah.
Yeah, we need that's another thing we need. The bison represents the local fauna, while the seal on it suggests the custom of branding livestock. So this is a serious buffalo
That's
injury.
A fucking brand. Oh my god, that poor buffalo. That's metal as fuck. I'm giving it a 5 buffalo. Metal. I was going to give it a 1 metal. But now that I know that the buffalo is permanently scarred with this political cartoon.
Holy shit. It took 3 men just to lift. Like, think how big a buffalo is.
Yeah, it's a 5 and a 7.
All right. Well, we
did it. We're done with state flags. I mean, it's a short episode, but you know what? Put in the can. Have a great Thursday, everybody. We'll see you for another Man versus Machine. Come,
There's a district.
Oh, there's a district. Okay, well, 1 district. I mean, that's fine.
We got to wrap up with the district.
Okay, woo.
All right. Washington, D.C. This flag was adopted October 15th, 1938. It's a 1x2 flag. Design Argent 2 Bars Ghouls. In chief, 3 stars of the 2nd. Man, whoever wrote this has like the biggest Vexillology hard on right now because he couldn't just say what it is.
We need to give everyone. We need to give
Oh my
everyone time.
God.
We need to give everyone time to work their rager down.
All right. It's a white flag with 2 red stripes and 3 stars across the top. Red stars.
Yep.
There you go. That's what it is. Fucking whoever this is couldn't say that. In chief, 3 stars of the second. Let's see. It was designed by 3 people, none of whom are women.
Oh. Well,
So this is the only flag designed by men. Let's see.
I like how.
Yep.
Well, they have this perfect flag, yet there's been so much effort to introduce a different flag.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you about this flag. It is an armorial banner based on the coat of arms granted to Lawrence Washington, George Washington's 3rd great-grandfather, at the Sulgrave Manor of Northamptonshire, England, in 1592. This coat of arms was used privately by the president in his home at Mount Vernon. In heraldry, the stars are called mullets. The coat of arms is blazoned with as argent 2 bars gules, in chief 3 mullets of the second. I'm glad that they changed mullets to stars in the description there. So I like, you know, this is a very Maryland flag because they're using the heraldry. Oh no.
Yeah, that's very much what they were doing.
Yep.
Tim, you're crossing a live wire with that Maryland comment. I'd watch it. We may have some viewers or listeners in the district.
It's all I meant is they look to heraldry to design their flag. That's all I meant.
Okay, Tim does not oppose DC voting rights.
Nope. Yeah. Okay, that's true.
I don't actually. Oh, I don't like these redesigns, but they're all pretty old. So they just moved the stars around basically. Oh, one basically like one of these designs. It looks like they took the flag, right, inverted the colors, and flipped it sideways. Like
they tried. They were playing with Photoshop. For that. So I think this is a really great flag. I think this is a very probably unique among kind of U.S. state and territory flags. This is very usable. I have seen more now I do spend most of my time in Washington, D.C. proper, but I do see more people with tattoos. This rivals like the Chicago flag of like just like things people have stickers on. If you're a fan of the soccer team DC United, there's a whole like soccer hooligan group called the DC Ultras, and their logo is just like almost like a tag. So it's like 2 bars and then 3 X's. There's a lot you can do graphically with this flag. It's simple. It has all the kind of elements of a good flag. It's simple. It's iconic. It's unmistakable. It doesn't say the word Washington. It's not a picture of George Washington. It's pretty good. I don't have a lot bad to say about this flag.
Yeah, no, this is basically a perfect flag. It's a really old design, but it's completely timeless. Like if you were to look at it in a vacuum, it looks like it was made in the 60s. It was made in the 1800, somewhere in there. It's a 10 quality. And I think all the hand rigging when they have this perfect flag is quite metal. So yeah, ironically, they probably have to introduce a terrible flag for the process to get a 10. So it's an 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. It is a great flag. I'm gonna go 9 on quality. I don't think there's all that other than the heraldry angle. There's not extremely metal, so I'm going 6 for metal.
Well, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna drop a fact bomb here.
Okay.
it's also based on a goddamn lie. So it is true.
I'm gonna bump up my metalness to 8 then.
It is true that these arms were granted to Lawrence Washington. However, George Washington was never able to prove that he was a descendant of Lawrence Washington. And in fact, as he was president, kept writing to London to ask what his heraldry should be. And they're like, what do you care? Fuck off, Republic boy. And then he was fighting with them and trying to prove his lineage and his right to use these arms, and died. They just stopped replying to his letters in 1796. 3 years later, he was dead. So even though Washington maintained that these were his arms, and maybe they were, there was never a patent given to him to use these arms. And in fact, when pressed, the Royal College of Arms said, you can't use them. So because of that defiance, I will give this 9 metal, 10 quality.
And, fun fact, folks, the stars stand for DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
No, they do not. They actually stand for District of Columbia.
All right.
Do they even stand for the 3 original cities in the district?
No, those are just the Washington arms. They were
What are the
passed
3
out in-
original cities? It would be Georgetown, Alexandria,
Georgetown.
and something else?
And Washington City.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Which are all not super connected originally.
Right.
They're all 3 separate cities in the District of Columbia.
Except when those assholes took their part of the square back.
Yeah, they
piece of
ruined
They
it.
shit.
didn't want it anyway.
Fucking ruined it. All right.
No, it's a squiggled rhombus.
All right. So we got all the states and the district.
All right. Okay. Well, it was a little premature last time, but I'm glad now, finally. Good night, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you next week. We'll have oh, fuck.
All right. U.S.
it.
territories, still part of the U.S. And they all have flags.
We
They all
didn't give
got
them all
flags.
back.
Not yet.
It's news to me.
All right. And if you can see in the background here, it's all the U.S. territories and all of the exclusive economic zones in the water. So
It's a shame we never signed the Convention on the Law of the Sea.
shut up. All right. Let's start with American Samoa.
Woo!
All right, this flag is a 1x2, adopted April 17, 1960. It is a red-edged white triangle pointing towards the hoist, charged with a bald eagle clutching a war club and a fly whisk. The white triangle divides the dark blue field into 2 separate triangles. There you go.
Everything about this flag is wrong, and that's what makes
Yeah.
it great.
Yeah, I mean, this has the reverse Wyoming buffalo problem. It doesn't go the way you think it should be going. Like all the weight, it's like it's attacking the staff.
It is, and that bald eagle looks fucking pissed.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome eagle.
He's about to tear some shit up.
I mean, he's got a sword and like a mop. Like, what else does he have?
I don't know what a
And
fly
the
whisk is.
triangle just accentuates the violent act that's about to happen. It's like
Yeah.
a comic book panel.
A fly whisk is a tool that used to swat flies.
Yeah, all right.
A similar gadget is used as a hand fan in hot tropical climates, sometimes as part of regalia.
Okay, so apparently it's also it's like a traditional symbol of Samoan leadership.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty
All
cool.
right, that makes sense.
Yeah, otherwise it's just like gonna impale some people and keep the flies away from the corpse, I guess. All right. Great flag.
Wonderful flag.
I don't care that it's going the wrong way. This is metal as fuck. I'm gonna give it a 9 metal. It is flying the wrong way, so I'm gonna give it an 8 quality.
Yeah, I like there are about 45 states who should be ashamed of themselves. That American Samoa, an island with a population of 45,000 people, was able to get their shit together and make a better flag than almost all of you. It is flying the wrong way. That is a problem for me. The balance is off. It gives me a slight stomach ache, but it's a 9 medal for sure. And I will just deduct 2 points on the quality just because it seems to be attacking itself, unless that was a purposeful like sovereignty thing. But I don't think it was.
Well, it makes you pay attention to American Samoa, as we should.
Yeah.
So it's a 9 and 9.
That was at an 8 quality. You said deduct 2 points, but you didn't say from what.
Oh, so from my medal, so it's a 9 and a 7 because I deducted from the
7. Okay, 7 quality.
7 quality, 9 medal.
All right, this bookkeeping brought to you by Quicken Books, not a sponsor. All right, next, Guam. All right, this is
great.
That's not the word that comes to my mind. This is
somebody.
This must be in metric. Well, that doesn't make sense either because this is a 22 by 41 flag. Adopted February 9th, 1948. It is a dark blue background with a thin red border and a seal in the center. The seal is a palm tree with a coconut. And it says Guam, and there's a sailboat. And it's almond shaped. So the red border represents the blood spilled in World War II and Spanish sovereignty. In the center of the flag is the seal, an almond shaped emblem, which depicts a proa sailing in Hagontya Bay and Guam colored in red letters. The shape of the emblem recalls the slingshot stones used by the ancient Chamorro people. The landform in the background depicts the 2 lovers' point cliff on Guam. And yep, there you go.
This would be one of the few flags we've seen that features a literal representation of the geography of the territory, right?
Yeah, rather than just a stylized mountain pointing west or east.
I also kind of like that it's not a circle.
I like that.
This is the best possible putting your seal on the flag.
Well, yeah. Well, someone told Guam that this is how you made a state flag. Yeah. So they were just, well, apparently this is what we do. So they tried their best. They did better again than most states. It's a blue flag with a territorial seal on it, but they resisted a lot of things. They went with red, which I like. I personally love the history of America's possession of Guam, because like during the Spanish-American War, like an American warship just showed up to Guam, and the one Spanish guy was like, "I surrender, I guess." And then they all like drank schnapps. So it's pretty great. It's a 7 quality. It's well done. It's not very metal though. It's a 4 metal.
I totally agree. Exact same scores.
Oh wait, then it's all the red is blood, right?
The red is blood. So
we'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 5 metal.
I'm going 6 for the blood. And you're doing 5 for the blood. All right.
I'm going to go 7 and 5, and that is mostly about the blood. The actual process of making the flag seems to have been free of drama, which is to its detriment in the metal category.
Although it was approved by the military governor.
That's true. There's not an equal voice.
Yeah.
Looks
Here's your damn flag.
I picture him being played by Rip Torn, by the way.
He actually incredibly looks a lot like Rip Torn.
No way. Well, he was just perfect for those roles. All right. Next is a flag of the Northern Mariana Islands.
There's a lot going on.
This says it is used as a state and war flags, and all. You'll see this if you go to war with the Northern Mariana Islands. 1x2, adopted July 1985. It's a circle of flowers and plants with a gray sculpture and a white star on a blue field. The sculpture is like one stone upon another stone, right? But the star is blocking what's going on. So it's kind of hard to see. The flag consists of 3 symbols: a star representing the United States, a latte stone, which is a pillar capped by a hemispherical stone capital with the flat side facing up, used as building supports by the ancient, the thing went away, Chamorro people. They are found throughout most of the Mariana Islands. And there is the the flowers, the wreath is a Mwar, MWAR, a decorative wreath made of flowers. And the blue background represents the Pacific Ocean, and the deepest, darkest part of that Pacific Ocean, the Mariana Trench.
Oh, I mean, that's awesome.
Yes. I think there should be a black streak down the middle.
Yeah. Or like
that would make it more metal and more better.
Like a fish with a light on its head.
I mean, it's like everything about the flag is well executed in its component parts, but then you put it together and it's nothing.
Yes. I think the worst part is the star.
Yeah, the star is fucking it up.
They should stick it in the corner. Actually, they should stick it in the east corner, because if that's where the rest of the states are.
And there should be a random number of them and a lot of them.
I agree.
Yeah, well, there's 14 islands in the archipelago, so
there you go.
Should at least that's I mean, those are the main islands.
Maybe they could surround the flower wreath with those. There you go.
So the Mariana Archipelago has 15 islands, and the bottom one is Guam. So I would also like a flag that just said "not Guam," because I think that would be fun.
With the star there, it just reeks of provincialism.
Yeah, the star is not helping anybody. I mean, I do like CNMI. I think it's a cool place. Lose the star and you're doing a lot better. Or just move it.
Or put the whole... This might be one that's improved by all of the noise that comes with the official seal.
I think this is the seal, actually.
Yeah, but the seal says Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands official seal.
I see. I'm not sure that helps.
It doesn't make it worse.
That is true. It doesn't make it worse.
I just think if you saw this flag in a war, you wouldn't be all that scared.
It depends on the war, but probably. I mean, if you're Guam, you might be shaking in your boots. Probably not.
They won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
All right. For quality, I'm going 5, and for metalness, too many flowers, I'm going 3.
So I don't know if you can pull it up, but the trust territory of the Pacific Islands was just like a circle of 6 stars here. So maybe the star is meant to recall that. But it's not great. And actually, that makes sense. So the flag of the Federation of Federated States of Micronesia is basically that flag, just with 2 taken out, and the 2 taken out are the Marshall Islands and CNMI. Okay, so that makes total sense. But still, I leave the star behind. You made your choice. You decided to associate as a Commonwealth. Take the star out. Otherwise, it's a 6 design, and it's a. I like the audacity of having a wreath on a flag. 6 metal.
Yeah, and I almost feel like the way the flags are fronting with the star is fairly metal. Like all these jarring visual elements in this combination may not work from a design perspective, but are kind of metal.
Okay.
Which is my fancy way of saying 5 and 4. And the flag of the trust territory of the Pacific Islands, it just looks like my monitor is going into power save mode.
All right.
You're going to get some letters, Doug.
Next up, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, the other Commonwealth.
Proportion 2-3, adopted July 24th, 1952. Oh man, they didn't write the whole thing. So it's 5 equal horizontal bands of red, top and bottom, alternating with white, a blue equilateral triangle, based on the hoist side, bears a large white 5-pointed star in the center. So the origins can be traced to 1868 when the first Puerto Rican flag, the revolutionary flag of Lares, was conceived by Dr. Ramon Betances and embroidered by Mariana Brossetti. The flag was used in the short-lived Puerto Rican revolt against Spanish rule in the island. And so that flag, it started with that flag and it eventually got redesigned into what we see here.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, this flag is a blatant ripoff of the Cuban flag, because of the Spanish American War and the Cuban revolt.
Oh yeah, they just swapped the colors.
Yeah, so they just so they used the colors from the Lares flag and just flip-flopped it from the Cuban flag to just kind of show Cuba was a much bigger kind of like international cause. So I think it was kind of bandwagoning. It's like we're breaking off too.
Fuck you, Spain.
Us too. Fuck you, Spain. Chinga tu madre.
Jeez. All right. I think this is more recognizable than Cuba's.
It's a great flag. It's a well-designed flag.
It's definitely better than Texas. So because
it's very similar.
That's
to the Texas.
I think that's what people like to get Puerto Rico's flag confused with. It's like, oh, is that Texas?
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
It's a proper 2-3 flag. The real Cuban flag is 1-2. It's way too long. And yeah, it's great. It's a great flag. It has all those. It's iconic. It's simple. There's no goals or there's only one mullet on it.
It's got the Technicolor color choices versus the staid Texas choices.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going 7 quality, 6 metalness, and most of that is just based on the fuck you Spain angle of it.
What about the violent history of the flag?
Yeah.
And Puerto Rican independence?
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good point. But they adopted the flag in 1952, though.
They did.
That does deserve another point. I will give it a 7.
I mean, there's also a protest version of this flag that's all in black, and that's metal as fuck. Like, if they adopted the black version of this flag, oh man, that's a game changer. But this is the red, white, and blue one. It's very good. It's a 9 quality. It's a banner of revolt and war and independence. But it also, has some, problems. So I'll give it a 7 metalness.
Apparently, they've been fighting with some Norwegian private shipping firm that uses basically the same flag. Honestly, it's a 9 and a 9. And much respect to the Puerto Rican people and the self-determination they deserve.
Yeah. Wow. Yep. I might have to bump up my metal score for bad reasons. What did I give? I gave it a 7. I'm gonna have to give it an 8 because this flag was the symbol of Puerto Rican independence, and then the asshole governor used it as their Commonwealth flag and is like viciously
to
subverting
neuter the movement.
Yeah, it's like, well, here we are.
Hey, fuck you. This means
what a dick.
The opposite of what it did yesterday.
The Independence Party accused the government of corrupting beloved symbols.
Oh, that's
wow.
In a sick way. That's brilliant.
All right, next up,
okay.
the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's a 2x3 flag adopted May 17, 1921. It is a simplified version of the coat of arms of the United States between the letters V and I for Virgin Islands. The yellow-colored eagle holds a sprig of laurel in one talon and 3 arrows in the other. The blue color on the shield on the eagle's breast is the same color as that of the flag and shield of the United States.
I guess the 3 arrows represent the 3 islands of the USVI, maybe?
3 blue arrows. Yeah, because the
just...
U.S. coat of arms has 13 arrows. So this has 3 arrows, 3 major islands that make up the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John.
Seems like this was just sort of slapped together after we bought the territory from Denmark. Like, yeah, we're taking this one flag down and we have nothing to put up.
Now, I would say that I support this design again for a universal state flag. And if those were Roman numerals, so like whatever the 6th state is,
6, yeah,
like, you know, and you could make this really cool. It is. I will say it is much better than the Danish West Indies flag, which is basically just like the Danish flag in the canton around a blue field. A totally uninspired flag. Yeah, I mean, blah. So this is a step in the right direction of these unincorporated territories and commonwealths we've been looking at. I think this is the least good. It's still better than most state flags.
Totally agree.
But it's uninspired. The design is a 5. The metalness is probably a 3.
I'm with you. Like, this would be a great template design. Like, every state in the Northeast should be required to adopt this.
Yeah.
The I is like,
yeah.
If you folded the flag in half, the I would perfectly bisect the V, right? But when it's laid out, it looks like the I is just sitting there all alone, like too far.
Yeah, and
from
another
the eagle.
Another problem with the eye, like I know we saw in the California bear, like having a filled in eye can lead to the wrong message. But I do think having the eagle's eye plucked out doesn't inspire confidence.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the eagle's eye. I was talking about the letter.
Oh, you're talking about the virgin eye. Oh, that eye.
Yeah, but the eagle's eye is gold. It's like,
yeah. I almost wish this wasn't an ornamental eagle.
Like,
it was a symbolic eagle. Like,
it looks like a stuffed bird, like you see at the Smithsonian. Like, this is the last passenger pigeon.
It looks like a gold hood ornament with like some plastic laminate glued on the front. Yeah. That's the shield.
Right. I'm going 4 and 3. It's still better than a lot of flags.
Yeah, honestly, it's a 5 and 5.
There is room for improvement. All right. Well, that wraps it up, Metal Nation, for the flags. So until next time, when we look at more flags of the United States, tune in next time. Cast them down! You didn't think there was more, did you?
I didn't.
So much more.
I did. Oh no.
Oh yeah. Don't listen to this. Don't listen to this.
Wait, just to clarify, did we start an episode?
No.
Yeah, we gotta go. He started it. We gotta keep moving. We gotta keep rolling.
What's your metal problem today, Tim?
No,
Welcome to
the outro.
Podcast Down
That is
DLC.
the outro. That is the
Oh,
outro. Damn it. All right, there. We're ready.